when people in the FBI tell me that they'd much rather have criminals use Bitcoin than $100 bills, it suggests that maybe it's not quite working the way it was supposed to.
Have you sold any of your Bitcoin?
Wall Street whales are trying to tank the Bitcoin price. And not just Bitcoin, but altcoin prices too. Looking at the chart, you see Bitcoin is ranging from the highs of $73,000 to the range lows of $57,000. Remember, Bitcoin and crypto represent the first time in history where retail has been able to front-run Wall Street players. Regular people like you and me got a 10-year head start on TradFi and institutional players. Now, because of the ETFs, Wall Street is able to easily get in. The only problem is these prices aren't low enough for them.
Maybe Larry Fink with the BlackRock ETF surrendered to the forces, or maybe it's more like Bitcoin's been co-opted by them.
They don't want to buy here, they want to buy here. TradFi whales are trying to tank the price of Bitcoin. Like here, American venture capitalist and former CEO of PayPal, Peter Thiel, suggests Bitcoin has been co-opted and right now isn't really that good of an investment. Here, listen to this. Tell me what you think.
Probably the part where I'm less convinced of is this question of the sort of ideological founding vision of Bitcoin or these cryptocurrencies as sort of a cypherpunk, crypto-anarchist, libertarian, anti-centralized government thing. This is always, the line.
Isn't that what got you interested in the first place?
That's what I thought was terrific about it. And then, the question is, does it really work that way? Or, has that thread somehow gotten lost? And so when people in the FBI tell me that they'd much rather have criminals use Bitcoin than $100 bills, it suggests that maybe it's not quite working the way it was supposed to.
Have you sold any of your Bitcoin?
I still hold some. There are all these ways I didn't buy as much as I should have, and I'm not sure it's going to go up that dramatically from here.
From here?
Yeah, I think we got the ETF edition, and I don't know who else buys it quickly from here.
Some interesting investment advice. That actually surprised me because I don't think I've heard you. I thought you were still all in.
By the way, keep in mind how shocking this point of view is, since it's such a complete 180 from what Peter Thiel had been saying for years. You remember him saying stuff like this.
You were supportive of Bitcoin. You actually said to me that you're skeptical of a lot of cryptocurrencies, but you think Bitcoin was being misunderstood and you think that there was a big opportunity. You have since bought a lot of Bitcoin. Where does the position stand right now? And tell us what you see happening in terms of Bitcoin.
My view is that there's going to be one cryptocurrency that will be the equivalent of gold. There's about $200 billion worth of Bitcoin. There's $8 trillion worth of gold. And many of the things that make gold attractive would also apply to Bitcoin. One thing that's very different from the dot-com bubble in the late 90s is there are virtually no Wall Street analysts, no Wall Street banks that are pushing this in any way whatsoever. Whereas, if you looked at how many analysts were working on dot-com companies in 99, 2000, that was way too many, and that was probably, sort of another small indicator that it was too consensus. It's been missed in New York City. It's been missed even more shockingly in Silicon Valley, where and it is a technology that's sort of emerged in this fairly distributed way. Ethereum, the number 2 currency.
So now he says that Bitcoin has been co-opted. This is crazy.
I still have a small position. It probably still can go up some, but it's going to be a volatile, bumpy ride. And I had a dual reason. One was this sort of ideological, decentralized future of computing world that I really do believe in, really believe would be better, and it seemed like the perfect vehicle for that for such a long time, and I am just much less convinced of that, and so
Interesting.
So maybe Larry Fink with the BlackRock ETF surrendered to the forces, the anti-ESG forces, or maybe it's more like Bitcoin's been co-opted by them, and I worry it was more the latter.
So because of Peter Thiel and people like him, all of a sudden the media is promoting the idea of, well, what if Bitcoin's price gains are over? What if Bitcoin has topped out? Here, listen for yourself.
I had someone say this person has to be fired. One of the hodlers because the other day I was saying, yeah, if you bought it at 8, I can't imagine. I'm afraid at $60,000. $60,000 is a lot. This is when it was dropping, and they say, "Oh yeah, you got to buy it here." I think it was Pomp was on. That's right. Pomp was on saying, "You got to buy it here. You got to buy it here." And it's like, well, if you bought it at 8, 60,000 is a lot of money to buy one Bitcoin. But if you believe it's going to like Tom Lee, you should.
If you're Tom Lee or Kathy Woods, you believe it keeps going.
So right now, Bitcoin is ranging. It is my belief that Wall Street is trying to break this support and push Bitcoin down into the $40,000 price range. And they're coming at this industry trying to push the price down in every which way. I believe there are Wall Street whales working directly with the SEC to do stuff like this. Spot Ethereum ETF launch delayed by SEC comments. The SEC commented on the S1 forms and requested resubmissions by July 8th, potentially delaying the launch of Spot Ethereum ETFs until mid to late July. So this is just a delay. These are still going to launch. The Spot Ethereum ETF launch, we're now looking at mid to late July. That would be right here. And so it is my belief that we only have a few weeks of them trying to push this price down before they can't do it anymore. But boy, are they really trying hard. The SEC has just sued Consensus over MetaMask staking and broker allegations. The SEC alleges that MetaMask acted as an unregistered securities broker and that its staking service violated securities laws. You remember that Consensus previously sued the SEC to try and block the regulator from doing this. Well, it didn't work, and now, as stated, the US SEC is suing Consensus alleging MetaMask's swap and staking products violated securities laws. The agency also targeted Ethereum staking service Lido and Rocket Pool, referring to their popular staked ETH or restaked ETH tokens as unregistered securities. Wall Street really wants the price below this level. And Wall Street players really aren't the only ones who feel they missed out on Bitcoin in the 40s and are trying to bring it back to the 40s. For instance, Dave Portnoy, I already personally own Bitcoin, but if it dips down into the 40s, I'm planning to buy another 5 to 10 million of Bitcoin with Barstool money. I bet a lot of people are thinking like this.
Right now we're at 61,000 with Bitcoin. Been down a little bit of a rough week. It was up, Bitcoin's high 70 is around 60. I said I'm going to take Barstool money and probably buy like 5 million, 10 million of Bitcoin if it gets into the 40s. Not going to buy in the 60s. I already have a ton of personal Bitcoin, so don't get it confused.
So we'll have to see if Wall Street is able to push the price down below this support and get their $40,000 Bitcoin. Like I said, I think, they only have a matter of a few weeks to do this, a couple weeks to a month, because inevitably there's only one direction this market is going. Not financial advice. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm a believer. You have to make your own decisions. Guys, subscribe to Altcoin Daily. Join the team. We drop one video every day, keeping you informed. This is the year to double, triple down on your crypto awareness and understanding. It's going to be a big year. 2025 is going to be a big year. See you tomorrow. Hey, real quick, you should join us at Bitcoin Conference in Nashville this year. 10% off if you use the code Altcoin Daily. Link and details in the description. This is the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world. I think this is going to be their biggest year ever. I love the fact that this is in Nashville this year. If you want to be part of the culture, celebrate Bitcoin with like-minded people, and hang out with us, join us at Bitcoin Conference Nashville. 10% off. Use the code Altcoin Daily. Link and details in the description. I hope to see you there.